Were you able to just sort of vaguely hear me? Can you hear me now? So, before I started the stream, Microsoft decided it wanted a blue screen of death me, so it just force restarted the computer, so, I pulled out all of my peripherals. See, so many shit was restarting at the same time, I forgot. Coronado, thanks for the Prime sub. 2 years, I appreciate the support. I already screamed once, so that's all the screaming you get. I don't care if you didn't hear it. Oh! 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 There you go. There's a scream. Oh! 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 7 out of 10. The window's open. I'm not going to be screaming at full force. Bottom scream? I think of it more as a scream that I emit when I like get my balls chopped off or something. I'm screaming in horror as I look down as my testicles are severed from my body or some shit like that. You know, normal things. Close the window. It's hot if I close the window, dumbass. It's actually not that hot right now, but it's like a high of 82 or so, so it's relatively not death-inducing. It's actually been an okay summer. We've been going through like 1 or 2 weeks of extremely uncomfortable, intense heat discomfort weather, and then we have multiple weeks of very comfortable, like high in the 70s weather, and sort of back and forth. If this is what climate change is going to be like, then I'm okay with it. Notwithstanding, like, the 10 million Indian people that are dying because Mumbai is, like, you know, 10,000 degrees Celsius, but... Giga heat death? Just turn on air conditioning, bro. I had a brief period in, like, I don't know, 2015 or so when I was actually, like, seriously concerned about global warming and climate change and the fact that nobody seemed to actually be doing anything about it. And I was like, holy shit, is humanity just gonna fucking die because people are too retarded to make any changes in our lifestyle? And then I stopped caring. I became numb to the whole thing, and yes, humanity is going to die because people aren't going to make changes in their lifestyle, but we'll all be better off if humanity is dead and gone, so it will all work out, don't worry. If we die, we die. I remembered that I don't care about the rest of humanity, I only care about myself, so it's not like we're worth any more than all the other species that are going to survive global warming just fine, like cockroaches and shit. But yeah, in 2015, when I would see someone sitting in their car just running their engine for absolutely no reason, it's not even hot, you know, they don't even need to be running their engine for air conditioning, I would want to go up to their car and just, like, break down their window with a rock and start assaulting them. Just being like, you stupid motherfucker, I'm just gonna fucking kill you. But, yeah, I was able to get through that period in my life without committing assault, so now I'm good to go. People in other countries probably don't experience this, but Americans have, like, an extremely strong desire to sit in their car and just run their engine for no reason. Like, for a lot of Americans, running their engine is just, like, the standard default condition. They don't actually consider that A, it's bad for the environment, B, they're wasting gas and their own money, C, they're spewing fumes to everybody around them, D, they're accomplishing absolutely nothing, E, they're also probably damaging the engine a little bit. I think idling isn't good for your engine, actually, so they're literally accomplishing nothing, but it's America, so they're like, I'm free, bro. There's also the opposite. In an attempt to geoengineer the climate, we end up in a complete ice age. I'll believe that kind of like human technology-based catastrophe, like AI taking over, or we Snowpiercer everything when it actually happens. So far, people haven't really been doing a good job showing like, no, our technology is too powerful in my recent adult life. If anything, it's only been tech bros being like, no, our technology is so powerful, we have to think about the consequences, and it's like an absolute wet fart, and it's not powerful at all. The only like actual game changer technology we've had in my lifetime, or the last one we've had, is fucking cell phones. And even that isn't like, you know, apocalypse levels, unless you're counting teenagers looking at TikTok when they drive off the curb and run you over as like catastrophe. I mean, how can I take that shit about technology seriously when Elon is telling me how we'll have 7,000 people on Mars in like 2 years? You think I'm really gonna be like, oh no guys, we have to pump the brakes? Remember 2 years ago when crypto bros were talking about how this is gonna overthrow the entire global financial system? And other crypto bros were like, no wait, this might be too powerful. As if old people driving off your regular road ragers aren't that much of a danger. Yeah, I'm glad that this job, if you can call that, doesn't require me to have to go around driving and getting killed by old people. That would suck. The concept of love! So how's everyone doing today? I'm not gonna leave Jet Set Radio on forever, but I'll sit through Concept of Love at least. He turned into a manhwa artist. Who did? Are you calling me a fucking manhwa artist? That's fighting words, son. Don't you ever call me a manhwa artist. Fucked my car's transmission and need to look for a new one? A new car, a new transmission. They probably cost the same amount, right? I'm taking first call because my manager is on vacation. You're the manager now. Said in a Captain Phillips, I'm a captain now kind of voice. Somehow it doesn't seem as appealing as being a captain of a ship, does it? Being the manager. Give me 5 years and yeah, I probably will be. It's probably better that you become middle manager than whoever wants to become middle manager becoming middle manager. The problem with middle managers being extremely shitty people is because nobody wants to do that job unless they're like a sociopath. The people who are actually qualified to do the job don't want to do it. So instead you get the people whose the only benefit of being a middle manager is getting able to fuck with other people, and everybody's lives are miserable. So it's best if you can just sort of convince someone who doesn't want to be the middle manager to become the middle manager. In fact, it's one of the few ways in which you can avert disaster. No parts to repair my shitbox anymore. You can get a different shitbox now, I guess. How exciting. I have a new car, or relatively new car, and I think the air conditioning is dead. Do we have any people who understand cars? If my air conditioning doesn't seem to be emitting cold air, are there any situations in which it is something other than like the total death of my HVAC system? Or is there like air conditioning fluid recharging stuff that I haven't been doing, which I haven't, that I can just go to the dealership and they'll be like, oh, you needed to pump this full of something, and you didn't do that. That's why it's not giving you cold air. Because I haven't been driving, I'm just gonna ignore this problem. Surely nothing bad will happen if I ignore it. Oh. Might need refrigerant? Yeah, that might be it. Take it to a shop? Yeah. Also, it's been telling me that my tires need more air pressure for the last year, and I've been ignoring it because I've actually been filling up the air pressure. And I know the tires are the right pressure, so I don't know. Honda seems to have some problems with air pressure issues. My previous Civic, I had like a 2010 Civic or something before I had my current Insight, and it had something with the tire air pressure sensor that caused it to actually leak. This is my previous car, not my current one. And I had it fixed multiple times, but it just kept on having the same issue, so I just have to fill up the tires every single week. It was just a single tire though, not all of them, so it wasn't that bad. Honda's quality of their drivetrain is like fucking invincible. The engine never has problems, but the other parts, not exactly that invincible, I guess. I like gachi music when the words are actually replaced rather than added on top. Gachi is a complex artistic ballet between the original artistic intent of the song and the fat cocks that you put on top of it. These people are artists in their own right, trying to find the right gachi clips to combine. The tire pressure light sometimes indicates wiring issues. My Fiesta does it occasionally despite my levels being where they need to be. As long as it doesn't explode, right? Slow down. What's gachi? Holy shit, we have a gachi virgin in chat, guys. Everybody haze them in right now. Type all of your favorite gachi quotes in chat right now, everyone. Slaves, get your ass back here. I ripped the skin. Suction! Yeah, Deep Dark Fantasies is probably my favorite as well. It just seems to be extremely relevant in a lot of different situations. There's a lot of situations where I just think, like, in terms of deep dark fantasies, you know? Alright, that's enough high energy stuff. Happy workday jazz, uplifting music for productivity. What is this bullshit? There is no such thing as happy workday jazz, people. Let's listen to what it actually sounds like. This is from Lounge Music. Haha. Oh boy, I sure love my workday. As someone with the autism spectrum, when I was in the office and I just couldn't block the sound of people talking out, I didn't have noise canceling earphones. In retrospect, I probably should have had noise canceling earphones, but instead, what I would do is I would stick fucking earplugs in my ears and then put headphones on top of that and then blast music. So I was getting like double layer of both killing the sound and then like trying to block it out with extra music and shit. It was awful. Why the fuck do people have to talk in the office? I don't understand. People always want to talk to each other. It drives me fucking crazy. I hate it. This is part of the reason why I'm still a single virgin at 37. Do you see those images of the like autistic kids covering their ears and like screaming and being like, I'm not like that, but in spirit I am. COVID made working so much easier, to be honest. Shh. Don't let the corporations know that. They're trying to get you to all come back to the office. They don't want you enjoying your life. I mean, what's the point of being the giga-rich corporate CEO if you can't enjoy being happier than the people below you? I honestly believe 100% without unironically that if like CEO tier upper class people see lower class workers being happy, it makes them angry. Because they're like, wait, are we not squeezing enough productivity out of them? But it's not even just the productivity. I think it's like, I mean, this might just be me being a sociopath and projecting, but I actually feel like, what's the point of you being more powerful and richer than other people if you don't get to see other people feel bad, right? It's that thing, the internet meme. It's not enough for me to win. The others must also lose. And I think corporate America is actually very much that way. So it's important to not bitch too much, but also not look like you're actually too happy. Like, you can be happy to your coworkers, but if you ever see your boss, you have to look like you're stressed out on purpose, or else they'll suspect that you might have a sustainable lifestyle. I hear that in Japan, the OGs of overworking, if you're like collapsing at your desk and passing out, the management won't get mad at you for not doing work because they're like, good, we've worked him to his breaking point and he's no longer capable. I literally had this in when I was working at a Japanese car parts supplier for a while. That was my first quote-unquote real office job. And there was like an old Japanese guy who would sleep at his desk. And I was just like, oh, I guess it's not a big deal. So I started sleeping at my desk too. Nothing like too extreme. I would just like doze off in the typing position and not take any serious actions to, you know, stay awake. And then I was called by the manager and be like, what the fuck are you doing? I was just like, I don't know, it's just not a big deal, right? They're like, of course it's a big deal. I didn't rat out the older guy, but I'm sure they were aware of him as well. This was a corporation that, because they were a supplier, they were just being perpetually bullied by the OEM larger car manufacturers who would be like, oh, you know about those specs that we gave you a month ago and that you've been working on? We need you to, you know, change all of them. I know this will put you behind by a few months. And of course, because the OEM manufacturer is the customer and this company is the person who's the supplier, They have to be like, yeah, of course, Mr. Toyota-sama. Please, of course, please don't take away our contract. And, yeah, so as a new employee, I would do stuff like I would drive. There was visiting engineers from Japan, so I would drive them around as they would test these car radios and stuff. And when they would walk, the car would go by like white women jogging, and the guys would be like, they'd be like sailors on the sea or like prisoners. They'd be like, this is the first time I've seen a woman in months. And then I took them to like a slightly nice restaurant where they could eat some nice Americana food. They're like, this is the first time I've eaten something decent in months. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. What is going on? It was pretty funny. By the way, I got fired before my contract was complete. And then the company went like bankrupt or got bought by another company within like a few years after that. I saw some of the engineers that I had worked with, or one experienced like sound engineer guy who I was working with at Best Buy after that. So all things considered, I landed on my feet better than a lot of my coworkers. Would you drive me around, BB? No, I wouldn't drive any of you guys around. They are interns, particularly subhuman. It's just a contest for who is the most subhuman, I guess. He already said he won't do Uber. I don't see why I would do Uber when I could just do DoorDash if I'm going to be driving around. It feels like a lot of added risk for not a huge difference in the amount of pay. If you're driving people to the airport or something, you might get nice tips or something, but I don't think it's that much more. I mean, I can look it up right now. Uber driver average earnings per hour. I'm seeing somewhere between 11 and 22, 13 to 27. That seems about right. That's basically the same as DoorDash. I was consistently making about $21 per hour with DoorDash. If you type that in, by the way, salary estimates for Indeed shows up for my local that says $92 to $280 per hour. I don't know about that, Indeed. I don't know what kind of driver you're talking about, but I think you might be confusing an Uber driver for like a professional drug smuggler or something like that. What the fuck? The internet is full of shit, guys. How did that even get in there? The only driving I'll do for others is driving them insane. Certified female moment we have right here. How are your balls hanging? They're actually pretty tight up there. I like wearing boxer briefs, or not boxer briefs, like normal briefs. I wear these relatively tight Hanes briefs, which keeps my balls relatively close. I feel like my balls hang more than other people. This might be just me, but I feel like I need a lot of extra support to make sure they're not dangling everywhere, so I like wearing briefs for that matter. Classic white? No, I use color. I don't want all my... Remember, I have a lot of piss and blood coming out of my body, so... The classic white is just a recipe for disaster. I like black, honestly. I like my my underwear to be black like my soul, you know. You wouldn't understand, guys. I just have a lot of pent-up inner darkness, and I want my my Hanes underwear to properly reflect that. I also like red. The Hanes underwear I buy is like a 10-pack of multicolored briefs. And some of the briefs fit better than others, even though they're supposed to be the same based on the color they are. I think the dyeing process changes how the fabric behaves, but the black and the red underwear seem to work best. The gray and blue colors often have more of a stretchiness to them. What about red or brown underwear? There isn't any brown colors in the underwear pack. The red is good. You know that Chinese people have like this weird belief that wearing red underwear is good for their health? You know, like traditional Chinese cheap bullshit. Half of the problems on the planet are caused by Chinese people believing in some sort of traditional medicine. But this is another one of them. They're like, oh, if I wear red underwear, it's going to make me healthy or some shit like that. But the red underwear in my Hanes underwear pack definitely feels better than other colors, so I enjoy it. Italians are the same, by the way. Huh. I've heard of the term in Japanese as well, but I don't think there's many people who actually practice it. It's called akapan kenkoho in Japanese, which is like red underwear health strategy or health method or something. Pre-shitted underwear, especially if you're bleeding out of your asshole, like me. It's good to have it already red to start with. Unfortunately, if you're bleeding super hard, it's just going to go through your underwear and like stain your shorts and pants as well, so don't overestimate the underwear's ability to suck up all that blood. Red is just a lucky color. Also, blood in Eastern Asians consider that a sign of health. Yeah, fuck Chinese, by the way. They're always like, everything has to be red for good luck, and as a result, their color palettes are always like red and gold. Have you noticed that? It gets boring after a while. Like, I understand that, like, you have good lucky colors, but it fucks with the color palette of their buildings and institutions and stuff, right? Good luck trying to find like a casino that doesn't have like a bunch of red shit, right? I don't want to look at red all the time, China. Everything has to be fucking red all the time. Don't mind the dark green, to be honest. I don't even know what you're talking about. I rarely see the dark green. I see the yellow gold a bit, but... Jude, thanks for the sage advice, Balsama. I will never talk to real woman ever again. Feels good, man. Have some ball bucks. Oh yeah, you were the guy who was asking about whether you should talk to the HR woman. And I gave him the helpful advice of that you should never ever talk to other human beings because then you might develop human relationships. That's a pro gamer tip by 37-year-old virgin. Surely there is no relationship between my complete lack of any friends or acquaintances at my current point in life and still being a virgin and having never had a girlfriend and my choice to never make any human contact or flirt with anybody ever. Do you know if the bot in Discord adds roles for gifted subs? I mean, it's not like anybody actually does anything in Discord. Or maybe I'm just not aware. I feel like our most powerful Discord members are the people that are no longer here, that got purged. Like, Alpha. I mean, that's probably kind of why they were purged. We weren't able to handle their power level. Yes. RDW is extremely powerful. Every time she typed something, I couldn't tell if she was legitimately having some kind of breakdown or that I should pay attention or what. And I just decided other people will handle this problem. This is my general strategy for everything, by the way. I'm sure there's a responsible adult that will handle this issue instead of me. This is why I'm not really qualified to be a parent, by the way. Just throwing that out there as well. Her autism powers dwarf BBs. I don't know if it was autism. It seemed something much more sinister than that. Look at all these fucking layers, boys. Let's go. It was something. Yes, it is something. Have you ever really tried dating? No. I haven't. I've told this story already, but I was on Match.com for a total of 4 or 5 days, and then they started asking me for money, and I was like, well, that's too much. Not too much money, just the very concept of, like, me being forced to pay for this service. That was the total level of my commitment. In other words, for me to have a relationship, a literal perfect anime girlfriend has to show up at my doorstep and basically beg me to pay attention to her, and even then I'll probably be like, I don't know. Seems like a lot of work. So in the modern, and actually not modern, traditional dating environment where men are expected to be the first person to do all the courtship stuff and also pay a lot of money and do all sorts of shit just to have women pay attention to them, I'm basically done before I even start. There's no way I can, motivate myself to do that shit. When was this? This was when I was still pretending to be a normal human being to some amount. And that was, I don't know, 2012 or something. I was like, I'm out of college. I'm working now. I should behave like a quote-unquote normal person. And this fad in me lasted all of like a month and a half maybe. And then I was like, nope, we're not doing that. That was a horrible idea. Some other people might learn that it was a horrible idea based on their mistakes, but I didn't even get to the mistakes part. I didn't like run into a female and have like, a dramatic soul-crushing breakup or anything. I was just like, even the 5-second act of opening Match.com and giving them money and then like putting in my profile and trying to talk to these people is too much work. I think I'm done. You said it like it happened a bit pre-COVID. No, I've basically divorced myself from being a proper human being and a proper member of society for a long time now. A long time. Sometimes I pretend like I sacrificed everything so I could become a master artist or some shit like that, but the truth is I sacrificed nothing. That option was never on the table to begin with. Don't worry, King, your harem isekai is right around the corner. Sometimes I imagine myself as like a main character of a Japanese anime harem protagonist, and I think about what it would actually feel like to have all these women waiting hand and foot on me. All these cute girls, and I realize I don't even want that. So even like the ultimate like anime fantasy that's designed, unreality designed to satisfy us as human beings, even that doesn't feel that appealing to me. So I think I'm truly cooked in terms of my complete lack of desire to be around other people. I swear to God, if I'm sleeping and some childhood friend who's allowed to come into the house because my mother knows her walks up into my room and wakes me up in my fucking room, in my fucking bed, I will just beat the shit out of that bitch, and I'll just be like, Tomoko-chan, never ever ever wake me up again, you motherfucker. I will fucking kill you the next time you do that. Don't. I will wake up on my own. Don't talk to me again. Nobody invades my private space, much less my private space when I'm trying to sleep. Stupid fucking bitch. If I wake up in the hentai version of that, and I wake up and find some stupid childhood friend sucking my dick, now it's real. Shit is very, very real. Divorce is definitely on the table. The fact is we all like alone time. Harems are only fun for 2 seconds. Some people like alone time. Some people like alone time more than other people. And I like alone time more than 99% of everybody else on the planet. So the only reason that I don't live in like the frozen tundra 10,000 miles away from the rest of society is because I don't have the ability to do so. So if I was actually a self-sufficient human being, I would not be around others. But I'm not, of course, so I have to grit my teeth and bite the bullet. Tomoko will get her revenge by serving you an egg-based dinner. Ball will not go out and get something else. I can eat egg-based stuff. I just need to have a bunch of sauce on it. My mother makes omelets and stuff. See, I used to not be able to eat eggs at all for some reason, but it's actually only hard-boiled eggs at this point. I can eat everything else egg-based. It's just the smell that makes me feel kind of sick. I'm not sure why. There's that really specific eggy smell, and it actually makes me feel nauseous. And it's strongest in hard-boiled eggs, of course. So if I use something like Tabasco, like really strong sauces and stuff to hide the egginess, I can actually consume stuff. This is why I'm okay with eating katsudon, because the katsudon's dashi, it hides it. You're losing your ability to eat eggs. I've had multiple guys get mad at me because I like sitting alone for long periods and don't respond for hours. Hashtag just extrovert things. Why didn't you respond to my text in 5 seconds? Why aren't you going out with me to have fun talking to other people? Why are you sitting in a darkened room forever? They do not understand. However, notice how Hystrixia, being a female, has no problem attracting men despite their complete incompatibility with her personality. This is the superpower of being a female. I too would have a boyfriend that I despise and hate and would ask me to go and go to TGI Fridays with him if I was a female. Because men would approach me, they'd be like, hey, I love you so much, Ball-chan. I think you're really cool, and I think your art is really cool. Want to go out? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Sounds fine. And I'd be like, yeah, I've changed my mind. BB, you will not radicalize me against the opposite sex. I'm not trying to radicalize you. I'm just stating the truth. Women have the advantage of men being the one who is always initiating stuff, which allows a lot of non-neurotypical females to slip through the cracks and have children I think I'm one of the rare cases in which the autism gene is probably being carried on my father's side. But in most cases, I think the reason that we get to still have autism genes getting passed down is that you have these less social females that don't have to initiate social contact on their side, get a guy to knock them up, and then they get to pass their gene on to their sons, who then can't reproduce. I still get dick semi-regularly. There you go. Which is why you're not allowed to sit in the darkened room anymore. You must come out and talk to your in-laws. Could you get convinced to go somewhere, be 90% of the way there, and bail at the end? No, what happens is I will commit to the bit long enough to be there for, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, and then when the people want to go to like location number 2 or continue the thing, then I'll be like, nah, I have something to do. So I usually commit long enough to show up for a little bit, but that's it. Like I can keep up the facade of being a normie for as long as maybe 1 or 2 hours. Basically, it's like scuba diving. I have enough air in my tank to be underwater, and by underwater I mean be around other human beings for 2 or 3 hours, and then I have to exit the situation, and then I need to decompress and get all the nitrogen out of my blood system for the next 2 days by being in like decompression chamber, and also I'm in intense pain as my body tries to emit all this extra shit out of my system. And then I can finally go back and dive again. And if I try and do that too frequently, then I die from compression sickness. So there you go. Have you ever been on a date? No. The closest I've been on a date was, for some reason, some random Japanese chick contacted one of my friends in college. And my friend in college is like, hey, I feel awkward going on this with just me and her. Can you show up? And I was like, okay. I thought this was already a bad idea, but he asked for me to do it, and I was going to leave Japan soon, so I wanted to spend some time with him because I probably wasn't going to see him again. So for some reason, my friend didn't show up until later, so I met up with this girl alone, just me and her. And as you can tell from me speaking to you guys, I might be like a spurg, but I'm a relatively social spurg. So I tried and make small talk with her for as long as like an hour and a half while waiting for him to show up. And she was one of those like super quiet Japanese nerd types who get by also by being a female, but have like basically zero ability to communicate. So it was just me like trying to start a conversation for as long as like an hour and a half. And then my friend showed up, and we went to karaoke, which I'm awful at, and she still didn't say anything. And I gave my friend like some souvenirs or some gifts because I probably wasn't going to see him again, and I still haven't seen him after that. And I left him and her being like, okay, I have to go now, guys. And I don't know what happened after that. I don't know what happened in terms of the date or him in general. I hope he's doing okay, but in the end, I don't really care. BB, NTR, his friend date, LMAO. Apparently she was from his local area. Non-Tokyo local area. So, I don't really know if anything went well after that. But I don't fucking care, actually. Yeah. That's the story. But yeah, I'm one of those, despite all my complaints about not want to be part of society, I also don't have that much difficulty socializing and making friends and stuff. I've basically I'm not one of those Japanese, otaku who have never spoken to a female their entire life. I've basically had female friends at every point in my life. And that's part of me living in America where it's more normal to have female friends. But I don't know. The Japanese otaku who just like don't understand women completely and just can't talk to them. I'm not one of those, at least. Not that it makes any difference. Can you do some karaoke for everyone to hear? I don't feel like torturing you guys right now. Anybody who's been on this stream and heard me sing knows that I'm one of the least musically talented human beings of all time. Zankoku na tenshi no teze madobe wo da-da-da-da-da-da. Stop lying, you're an alright singer, BB? No, I am not. You're the one who is lying. Stop trying to psy-op me. I have rational karaoke scoring machine scores to tell me whether I can sing or not. That was bad on purpose, but even if I try my hardest to fucking sing, it's definitely off-key pretty poorly. Plastic Love next? Yeah. The singing that makes it sound like you're in pain, it is pain. And my lack of musical talent isn't just being off-key, it also extends to not being able to keep a beat. I can't clap on beat. This is why, out of all the video game genres, rhythm games and music games are the most difficult for me. I haven't been able to even complete Parappa the Rapper, for example. Stuff like Osu is just like complete what the fuck is going on territory. People who can do that Osu shit, the Osu championship clicking shit, they're like aliens to me. I don't understand how that stuff is even possible. It's fucking bizarre. Because when I see all those like glowing bars or whatever coming toward the screen, I'm just trying to hit them based on my hand-eye coordination, which isn't good either. I don't understand the concept of like tapping the buttons according to the sound of the music, because I can't do it. It's an entirely foreign concept to me. What about Guitar Hero? I can play like the first 3 songs on Guitar Hero on the easiest difficulty. Once they start increasing the number of bars that you have to hit, then I'm already down. I can barely play the easiest songs on Guitar Hero, basically. Hit me with your best shot, flying away. Southern All Stars, please. Da 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 da. I can't remember how it even goes. Natsuno, something about the summer and falling in love. Nagaru. I had some sazang, that's what it's called in Japanese for you English speakers. I had some sazang. Oh yeah, Namida no Kisu was the most famous one. Yeah, that's right. I had fucking Tsunami on my computer for the longest time. Kaze ni naou garu no kane to wa tame ijou namida moroi kakko ga aru eto nagaru yano mizu yo Airu. I can't remember the lyrics. Tsukida Tonai. You guys wouldn't understand. It's just like hashtag just Japanese things. Listening to Sazan when you're at the conveniently empty beach and having a one summer's tryst with the tanned local lifeguard girl or something. I don't know. I know. Ooh. Tokenai. Yes. Japanese summertime melancholy is a flavor of its own. Westoids will never understand. They don't have the wabi-sabi soul. Hashtag just Japanese things. You won't understand unless you have ramune and soda flavored blue candy in your country. I imagine the romance not truly gonna last, and the singer is aware of that, so he values the moment itself. Yes. Have you noticed that like 90% of J-pop songs are just about romance of the high schoolers? Like, they literally don't have any other things to talk about. Whereas in American pop culture, we have a much more wider variety of topics to sing about, like how wet and juicy our hip-hop female, you know, Cardi B's pussy is, or how I have 99 problems and a bitch isn't one, or how much I like smoking weed, you know, or how much I like my truck, or how much I love this country, America. A lot of wide variety of songs. Whereas Japanese, they only talk about how they felt when they were in love during the summer of, you know, 95 or whatever. Wet ass P word. I'm pretty sure we're allowed to say pussy in this stream, but maybe not. It might be banned. Happiness ends after high school. After high school is when you start imagining yourself getting run over by a truck. So you get isekai to another world. It literally does end after high school. You have your brief period of happiness in high school, and after that you're like, when am I gonna die? Have you seen Megan Thee Stallion Gojo cosplay? I mean, damn, is that a real thing? I'm gonna look it up. Oh fuck, it is. I know this woman probably has like a shit ton of cellulite injected into her ass. But pretty good. Not bad, lady. I feel the blood immediately flowing to my cock. You're doing a good job. For those of you who haven't seen it, she's doing this. Sniff. I can feel my racism disappearing already. That being said, I've already complained that if the ass is too big, I feel intimidated. So, she also likes Narusasu Yaoi. Ah, I see a fellow connoisseur of the anime arts. Truly excellent taste. Does she have a mustache? No, it's a very specific kind of lipstick that she's choosing to do. It does look interesting, doesn't it? I think she's using a darker color of lipstick on her upper lip for some reason. She's a huge weeb. Hashtag average black anime consumer, actually. Is that a self-portrait? He has more of a widow's peak than me. Also, I think he's a little taller than me. I think I need to make his head larger, actually. Yeah, his head definitely needs to be a little larger than this. Yeah, that looks better. She's doing the Kim Possible lip. Yeah. Don't ask about female makeup choices. They won't make sense anyways. BB is afraid of a fat ass because he knows his dick is not big enough to pierce through all that meat before getting into the pussy if he wants to go at it from behind. Yeah, I've already actually talked about this. Like, pretty much every guy out there, I feel like my penis needs to be 10 times larger than it actually is, so... Anything in which the extremely fat ass might get in the way of my penile penetration makes me feel uncertain about myself, so... It's okay. There is no situation ever in which I will be having sex with Megan Thee Stallion from behind while she cosplays as Gojo. I'll have her cosplay as Sasuke instead. Kim Possible lip is Kino though, especially the ombre kind. If people actually were asked to choose between Kim and Shago, would they all choose Shago? Because I think at this point the internet has sort of coalesced behind wanting to fuck Shago more than Kim. Just based on general vibes. Scared of Brazilian fat asses? Look, I like Japanese women. Japanese women's asses are not fat at all. The average Japanese woman's ass is like 1/10 the size of the Brazilian ass, so... Even my subpar dick size will have no problem penetrating that from behind. I'm just not capable of handling the bunda, that's all. Everyone wanted Shago back then and they still do. Everyone just be like, I need a bitch to ruin my life now. Honestly, more than Shago or Kim, I want the hairless mole rat that guy has. If I had to choose between like a female and a always loyal and not gonna die of old age immediately mascot animal that would be like bail me out of bad situations whenever shit hits the fan, I'd definitely rather have the mascot. Rufus, is that his name? I don't remember this stuff. I don't actually watch much cartoons, so... Mix. Music of Asia. Oh, guys, have you heard this song? To completely change the topic. This thing was stuck in my brain for like 3 weeks. Talk about earworms. This was just on the Japanese internet. It's just a dragon that is saying the list of okazu that it likes. It's just saying tonkatsu and stuff like that. Yes, it was extremely powerful meme. Ohitashi. I didn't think it was a big deal until I listened to it like once, and then I realized the song was stuck in my head for like an entire fucking month. The weird pause between the things that he says he likes is what really gets in your brain, I feel. Am I out of the loop for not knowing the dragon? So that's the original song right there, and it's just this weird dragon saying the specific types of foods it likes. Specifically food that you eat with rice, so like tonkatsu and stuff like that. I don't know if it's Miku or not. But people started using this extremely easy to draw dragon to announce other things they like on the internet, which is how it sort of became a meme. And there's like a million variations of this shit. I'm gonna regret playing that because now it's gonna be like stuck in my brain again, unfortunately. So if you see that dragon on the Japanese forms of Twitter, it's basically like some artist announcing how they like an NTR scenario in which the wife is getting fucked by the local shota or something like that. It's now used on the Japanese internet to announce things you like, basically. I wish I knew Japanese. You and a lot of other weebs feel that way, my friend. You must learn to live with the reality that you probably won't ever be able to speak Japanese in any functional level. Maybe you can learn how to speak it, but not actually understand it on a deeper level. It's that fucking difficult. I'm not even being mean. It just really is. Talking from personal experience, I learned Japanese when I was 6. I've been able to do casual Japanese up to maybe a college level my entire life. And yet, if I wanted to get employed in a Japanese company, I would have a lot of difficulties because my Keigo and Kensongo, these are the polite versions of Japanese, are not up to snuff. If I am put into a situation in which I immediately have to start apologizing to a customer or something, you know, a pretty common situation in Japan because you have to spend your entire life apologizing to customers, then I might have a lot of problems. That's the truth. Kegel can be nuts, and it has to come out naturally, of course, because it's speaking stuff. That's why the Monogatari novels are a masterpiece in writing, but completely inaccessible to anyone wanting to read them as a second language learner or worse, as a translator. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Monogatari novels are not a masterpiece. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and say that fuck you, Nishio Ishin. Your shit sucks. Nishio Ishin is an author that thinks that complicated wordplay is a replacement for actual writing. And I think he's full of shit. I think he's like one of the worst kinds of otaku. I will absolutely shit on him and deny his abilities non-stop. I think he's fucking awful. He's way up there among my disliked creators. It's hard to explain why I hate him so much unless you actually know Japanese. But the type of writing that he does in Japanese rubs me in the wrong way. He really, really, really likes wordplay, and at every point in the Japanese that he writes, it just feels like he thinks he's super, super clever. Like, he always thinks that... you can just kind of feel how he feels like he's the smartest guy in the room. And he might be smart, but he uses all of that intelligence to just do stupid, shitty wordplay. It's just... I don't know how to explain it. It's very, very... it smells like otaku. It stinks like otaku at every point. It's not how actual people speak. His characters don't speak like individual characters. They either speak like anime archetypes. I know I do anime archetypes a lot too. But more than anything, they speak like him. Every person speaks with the same voice. There isn't like multiple characters in his stories. They're all the same fucking person. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you're either numb to what's going on, or it's not as obvious in English. But it's really obvious in Japanese. If you really want to see the most extreme version of this in Nishio Ishin, he had a recent manga in Shonen Jump that got cancelled called Cypher Academy in English. And it's entirely him inventing word puzzles and puzzles that are supposed to be like encrypted shit. But it's not really like real encryptions. It's just stuff that he made up. That doesn't really make any sense. And he clearly thinks he's a fucking genius for coming up with these puzzles, but nobody was able to ever solve them. Because, you know, ciphers aren't supposed to be puzzles. They're not supposed to be solvable in the first place. But yeah, it got cancelled for good reason. There's nothing lower than puns, lowest form of comedy, lowest form of writing. Yeah, Nishio Ishin isn't even puns most of the time. It's more just like silly word stuff. All of his characters have like unrealistic names that are named after like geographical locations and stuff, and that's okay as well, but... look, I could go on and on and on about how much I dislike Nishio Ishin, and obviously there's people who like his stuff, but I don't think you're able to correctly grade what kind of a writer he is unless you know Japanese. But let me just say that if you're learning Japanese so you can read Nishio Ishin in its original Japanese format, there's way better things to enjoy in Japanese than Nishio Ishin, so forget that. You can do much better with your life and your Japanese skills than that stuff. How the fuck this works somehow managed to attract the attention of fucking Shaft and Akiyuki Shinbo. I think people who like it really like it, and people who like me just fucking despise it. And I'm so far in the despise it camp that I can't even speak about it without just being absolutely just angry, so... Just the quality of anime adaptation? I don't know, man. The anime covers up for so much. I mean, Shaft is just, you know... What was I thinking of doing? I've been completely sidetracked by reading about Nishio Ishin, unfortunately. Right, I wanted to make the text edge. Let's try 4 or 5? 4. Huh, that looks like shit. Okay, maybe I need way more. Opinions on the toothbrush scene? Stupid bitch needs to learn how to brush her own teeth. Also, I don't have an Emoto fetish. I have an One-chan fetish. So even from that direction, I don't like his stuff. He clearly has a little sister fetish, and I have the opposite. We are sworn enemies. Okay, you know what? I think I'm not going to use the gray, is the conclusion here. We're going to ungray this shit. Actually, first, I'm going to turn off the aura. We're going to ungray. And we're going to put some white on the bottom. You should challenge him to a greased wrestling match behind an Arby's. Unfortunately, there's no Arby's in Japan. We have to wait until Arby's moves to Japan. Burger King we have in Japan, but that's about it. Thinking about that random anonymous blog post by a Japanese lady who pivoted from drawing boys love to drawing booby girls for guys, that her main take always were pays way better, fans are way nicer, and don't send death threats over shipping, and they want crazy unreal proportions. I mean, the Fujoshi yaoi fans are famous for being mentally unstable and being in a constant civil war between other factions who want different shippings. You see this in Western society as well, with the what was it, the Voltron Tumblr girls sending death threats to the animation studio because they wouldn't make their favorite shippings into canon. Pretty funny if you ask me, honestly. If you want a cool text effect, copy paste white text under the black text and blur it. I mean, I could do that, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I just want it to be, I don't know, easy to read. Easy to read. I don't want people to be thinking about the text. I want them to just be reading the text, so... I could go full dark mode and then go white text. That's another option here. You can try that. See how that looks. BB actually making a fantasy comic, about time. If you haven't seen part 1, go to my Twitter or probably other places where it's reposted and read part 1, because this is chapter 2 right here. I've been working on it for a while now. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna figure out something else. I want to link the blog, but I need Histrixia to post the blog. Can you read the lady's blog? See, this is the type of stuff that I'll get faster going forward, because I'll figure out what things I want to do, how I want to build the page, but right now I'm still working on shit. Finally, Elastic Girl Emma Frost coming to Fortnite, you hoping on? Is Elastic Girl the Pixar mom that everyone likes sexualizing? Because I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not attracted to her mom bod. Yeah, I was never a Pixar fan, and that includes The Incredibles. Also, I'll never play any Battle Royales. It takes too much time to respawn and start your next game after you fucking lose inevitably. So, guys, stop encouraging me to play other video games if you ever want this shit ever done, okay? You don't want me being like, I'm gonna become a professional Fortnite player. I'm trying to get stuff done. You have to watch The Incredibles 3. Wait, is The Incredibles 3 a new one that they're coming out? I can't even remember. I don't follow this stuff. There's so many sequels, I don't know if that's a new sequel or an old movie I haven't seen. Go work 25 hours a day on the comic. Bro, I haven't even been doing like 7 or 8 hours a day this past week and a half or so. I've definitely been taking it easy. It's time for me to notch it up a bit and get back to going hard. I know the first thing that people say to artists online is like, oh, don't work too hard, because they're so used to every single one of their artists having some sort of mental breakdown, canceling all their commissions despite getting money up front, and then like deleting everything and disappearing. But you also have to work somewhat hard to actually get shit done, so I don't need you people being like, don't worry, bro, you can take some time off. Don't worry, I am taking time off, even if you don't ask me to. Trust me, I played 2 hours of Slay the Spire yesterday. I played 2 hours of some Edoge Slay the Spire parody that I bought from DL site the day before that. I'm taking plenty of time off. What I need to be doing is drawing more, not less. A lot of people are weak, they double... Yes, well, you always have to be worried about the mental state of your internet artist, that is for sure. They're always like one step away from deleting all their accounts, but I'm not, so don't worry about me, I just need to work harder. I'm half Japanese, so I'm not like the true Japanese Iron Man. Have 3 series going at the same time type people, but maybe I can do half of that. Mentally stable internet man, yeah. It's a rare breed. Incredibles 3, Zootopia 2, Frozen 3, Moana 2, and Toy Story 5. I feel like we're back in the 80s or something. Remember when we had a brief period in which both Disney and Pixar were producing beloved new IPs? I mean, the only thing you need, even before we get all these numbers, the only thing you need to actually know is Mufasa. The fact that Disney is like, what movie are we going to produce? I know. The live-action adaptation of Lion King needs a fucking live-action adaptation prequel about his father, who we all know is gonna die in a fucking antelope stampede or whatever. That's what we're going to fucking get, guys. Jesus Christ, Disney is creatively bankrupt. If you ever had any kind of proof that Disney has just like fucking lost the thread of what they're supposed to make at this point. Them making Mufasa of all shit. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess we knew that before that, considering we got the Aquafina rap. Oh no, I've mentioned it. You know what that means now. Every time I mention the Aquafina rap, we have to play the Aquafina rap. So here we go again. I'm sorry, I did it to myself, but here we go. Let's go. It's time. We'll see how long I can take it before I turn it off.
Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up! What? Hey, have you not heard that Scatto?
Ah! Make it stop! Ah!
Well, I was flying over land and sea and ear to the ground. Then I came flying here for you to see and hear what I found. Remember the swamp? Remember my song in the swamp? And I was like, wham, chicka, wham, wham, chicka, wham, wham. Since the what's his name? The guy with the hair in the shirt? The prince. Yeah, the prince.
Ah! Okay, that's enough. That's enough. We've done enough. Okay, get out, get out. Pull out, guys. I don't know if I've ever actually watched it from beginning to end, actually listening to it. I always fucking bail out after about 25 seconds. Oh, okay. Alright. That was a thing. Oh. All right. Let's think about Japanese summer love for a while to erase that from our memory. Much better. Now this was the song, like that. Holy shit! I was listening to a lot in '94. Ooh. Kanaide. What's the Japanese "We Making Babies for Real" song? I wouldn't know. I'll update you when I have sex with a Japanese woman. Don't hold your breath waiting for that, though. Man, when I go to work and meet interns born after September 11th, do you actually get to have sex with them? Sorry, Oji-san, but it's time to stop daydreaming about your tan female cousin who is 2 years older than you and wore shorts back in the sweltering summer heat. Feels good, man. I wish that was real. There's nothing I can do but draw more dark elves. Also, I think I was more tolerant of heat back then as well. It might have been that summers just weren't as hot, but if I had the experience of the heat, the same heat at my current age, I would be too focused on the intense discomfort I was and how I was covered in sweat all the time. I probably wouldn't be able to enjoy the shorts of my cousin. You were born in 87? 86, yeah. I was born in 86. I'm old. The same problem I had with Furiosa, people were placing the movie as a dark horse, they don't make movies like this anymore type of thing, but I was just laughing the entire time because all her struggle resulted in her home becoming an acrid swamp, yes. Prequels are just, like, you have to do them really right. If you think about it, the fact that the Star Wars prequels were even halfway decent says a lot about the core narrative being actually pretty damn good. My respect for George Lucas grows every year as other movie makers continuously shit the bed. Not necessarily other movie makers, but all the people who try and inherit his legacy. The guy wasn't a great movie maker at his core, but he sort of understood the basic building blocks of what makes good stories, which is more than you can say than Disney Corporation being like, we have to make a Lion King prequel, we need the money. Same year as my older sister. God damn, I wish I had an older sister in a purely sexual context. One-chan! Please, One-chan, I'm stuck in the washing machine. The hottest summer I ever experienced in my memory was in 2009. When it was like 104 degrees and it was for one day. Rookie numbers if you're living in Arizona, I guess. Why the fuck do old people want to move to Arizona? It doesn't make any sense. What is wrong with their brains? That's probably why they want to move to the heat. Because A, their body is dying, so they don't really understand that it's too hot. Their body can no longer detect the intense heat. It's all fun and games until she brings home her dickhead boyfriend with bleached blonde hair. No, please don't NTR me. Not gonna lie, I haven't really met anybody that was a serious problem or a sociopath in Japan of that type. They were all like, the people that I did meet were all pretty nice guys. In general, all the dick people in hentai that I've met in real life have been way better human beings than the otaku that are afraid of them. Like, you know, the sports player who shows up in the hentai, who's like the ace of the baseball team, who's fucking your childhood friend, etc., etc. All of the people who had serious personality problems I've met were more in the category of unathletic nerds and shit like that, instead of, you know, the guy with the blonde hair. So, thoughts on the trope of the brother that doesn't want his sister to get laid with another man? You gotta fuck your sister to assert dominance and tell everyone that she's her. There's nothing that will drive away her potential boyfriend like telling him that you're already involved in deep incestuous relationships. If he has any good sense, he'll be like, okay, these people are fucked up, I'm gonna leave. Cut the ball in school, 1 foot taller than everyone else. There's never was a tall blonde-haired Chad. Yeah, combined with the fact that I was like completely unsensitive to other people because of my Asperger's, I'm pretty sure that I was the NTR Chad in high school, now that I think about it. I'm sure there were like some nerds reeing at me behind the scenes because I thought that I was making a funny joke, but I was actually like pissing them off. Athletes and sexy men being clearly morons and wife beaters was always American cope from nerds who can't get concepts like wearing clean clothes. Yeah. There were 2 situations in my Japanese high school. See, I was friends with a guy who was like really socially aware and was kind of like the class leader. I always have a tendency to attract people who are, how do I put it, empathetic and sympathetic and are on top of those kinds of like social conditions to be my friends. I guess they appreciate because I'm like 100% honest all the time. So I always have like a guy who's looking out for me, who's like, you have to stop being a spurg. I was like, oh, was I being a spurg? That kind of person. So I was friends with like the guy who's like the class leader. and he's currently a professor of like a professor at a Japanese university teaching like political science or something like that. I'm sure he has wife and kids by now. But anyways, because he was the like class leader type, he was kind of in charge of keeping shit in order when it would go off the rails in the Japanese class. And I've seen 2 situations in which he had to take like another classmate out of the class and be like, you gotta fucking cut that shit out. You are being an absolute shithead right now. And they were both with these like classic nerd types that got into the school through testing, whereas I got into the school by being like, there were these special slots for people who were coming back from overseas. So when did you become less social? When you were able to not be around people? When I realized the extent to which I was expected to do certain things. So as I became more aware of realizing the expectations of society, it made me desire less and less to be around people, because I didn't want to be a spurg and I didn't want to make these mistakes. But I also didn't want to go through the mental fatigue it takes for me to be properly censoring myself. So ultimately I just came to the conclusion that I'd rather just be alone. You see, you listen to me like speak on stream, and you might think that like I'm doing a bit or something, like he's saying insane things to entertain the audience. But what I'm just saying is it's just coming off the top of my head, and there's no fucking filter. And not saying immediately what I'm thinking in my brain at the time is extremely painful to me. And if I have to actually lie and say like, Karen, you're not actually fat, your hairstyle looks great, it crushes my soul, and it feels like I've betrayed all of everything that matters deeply to me when I have to pretend like Karen isn't fat. So I've basically decided that I'd rather just be alone. Ball never lies, he's unfiltered, he means it when he pisses in the sink. I only piss in my toilet when I'm shitting and pissing at the same time at this point. I always piss in the sink nowadays. Mental constipation of not being able to call Karen fat. To me, even telling white lies or not saying immediately what's on the tip of my tongue is like a betrayal to everything that is held dear by me. Like, obviously I don't care if it hurts Karen's feelings. If I'm thinking, God damn bitch, you are fat, being like, no, don't say that she's fat, pretend like she's not fat, that alone is just a huge mental burden on me. So if Karen is actually my friend, then it becomes a lot of work. I gave up on people, I won't lie to spare someone's feelings. I said that I met with one of my high school friends who was a female, one of my many female high school friends. And she wants to meet again. She sent me an email in like August or something, but she hasn't replied. So I don't know if she's actually very serious about it. But I complained on the stream about how she has become more and more of a hardcore feminist. And I tried to convince her that women can't beat men in sports because men are better at athletic things, not because there's some sort of deep-seated patriarchal conspiracy that is stopping women to take up sports and stuff. And it was extremely painful for me to talk to her about this, because I just wanted to be like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking serious? She wants to fix you, you should let her. I don't know what you mean by fix, but at this point I'm pretty sure that she's... Not at this point. I went to a Rudolf Steiner school, so everyone there was extremely emotionally unstable. In other words, I'm more of the normal ones. I know this is hard to understand, but she is one of the more abnormal ones. Was she Japanese? No, she's not Japanese. She's also not very attractive, so I have zero interest in being anything more than a casual acquaintance with her. We only had like 15 people in our class, so... The truth is not what you want to be. It is what it is. You must bend to its power. Live alive. Miyamoto Musashi. Thank you. Shisho. It sounded like you had an okay time back when it happened. I can pretend to be a normal social human being for about, I don't know, 3 hours at a time. Was she fat? She's not as fat as she used to be. I'll give her that. Isn't that true? Men are built for war and hunting, completely different from a woman, and that's not sexism, that's just human biology. Yes, but if you get into the feminism zone, I have a lot of pretty hardcore feminists around me, including my mother, and there are moments in which they become so delusional about, I don't know, basic physiology that you just wonder if, like, they're living in an entirely different universe or if they've ever played sports or done anything. It's very hard to explain it to someone who doesn't have feminists around them. In chat, you didn't sound like it was bad. I mean, she is my friend, technically. Theoretically. I'm just cosplaying as a normal human, I guess. Well, modern society is built around the cornerstone of keeping women and children from being killed by animals, natures, and unusually violent men. Yes, but society has developed to a point that feminists have kind of forgotten that. And then they start to get delusional about some weird things. Has she ever asked you to go on a trip to Japan with her? Who? This high school friend? No. I mean, this is just someone who was in the same class as me that I found relatively tolerable compared to some of the other people. That's all. She's okay. She's not like my... If I had like a huge pool of friends I could have chosen, she wouldn't be top of the list. She doesn't bother me though. At least that much. It's really weird when people forget that freedom of the weak is guaranteed only through overwhelming military power. When women are asked if they'd rather run into a man or a bear in the woods, most are picking the bear. Yeah, I think the limits of feminism really came into view in the American withdrawal from Afghanistan. It was one of those moments where, like, yes, feminists have set up done a good job establishing society in a place where women can go to school and shit like that. But the only reason that is maintained is because you have men who are willing to uphold those female rights by risking their life through violence. And when enough men decide that they'd rather just let the Taliban run over the rest of society and take away those rights from women, then that's what happened. Because say as you will about female soft power and stuff, all those women and children aren't going to pick up guns and push back the Taliban themselves, are they? So ultimately all those female rights were completely dependent on men willing to fight and die for them. And when the US military went away and when the Afghan men decided that it really wasn't worth risking their life for it, then that's sort of where the feminism ends. Ball is just a few gallons of spooge in a man suit. You can't expect complex human emotions from him. I have very complex human emotions, actually. If I didn't, I wouldn't have the ability to write a manga and stuff like that. What I don't have is empathy and sympathy toward other people. I'm perfectly capable of experiencing human emotions by myself. It's just that I can't properly transfer those emotions toward other people, especially through nonverbal communication. To be fair, Afghanistan was a patriarchy prior to the invasion, so that wasn't going to change. Yeah, it also doesn't help that their main economy is growing opium and stuff. It was basically a society that was pushed toward more modern ideals like feminism through the presence of U.S. military. But there were a lot of female, like, third-party workers and stuff like that who were like, this is the normal state of society, and it wasn't the normal state of society. It was a abnormal state of society held up through the sacrifices of men willing to fight for it. Did you know that Greeks thought that women were essentially men but created inferior? Well, what we know from biology is that the default mode is women, right? We have our Y chromosome, and if it's not functioning properly, we just end up being women. Honestly, I think of men as sort of like worker drones that are extremely expendable, and nobody really cares if we live or die. That's sort of how I think of men. We're here to fucking kill, and if we die at 40 or 20 or whatever, it's not really a big deal. You said men were built for war and hunting, and women weren't. You have no evidence for that claim, and neither is there in science, so shut the fuck up. Yes. The only evidence is, you know, how people behave before and now. I wish we were just breeding studs in a matriarchal society. If we were breeding studs in a matriarchal society, you wouldn't be the one getting to do the breeding, so I don't think it would work out in favor of you, unfortunately. Most nations are built on the bodies of men. It's a big deal when they all quit at the same time. I mean, the most obvious example is Ukraine and stuff. They're not asking women to go to the front lines, even if there's a few that go. And if once they do start asking women to go to the front lines, that's a really, really bad sign. You need women to continue to breed, of course. "15 to 20% of the current Ukrainian army is female." That's not evidence that women and men are equal. That's evidence that the Ukrainian army is in really, really deep shit because their entire country is being invaded by Russia. It's not like a good thing. But even if we're not in a wartime situation, all the nasty jobs that people don't want to do tend to be done by men, right? Like doing anything that's extremely dirty or unpleasant, like cutting down trees and shit like that. So it's not like I'm the one who does that stuff, of course, so I can't really pretend like I'm a lumberjack, but there is no society where men stay at home and cook. I mean, once we get to a more service-based economy, it should transition in that direction, but it doesn't seem to be. If society is prosperous and is actually allowing people to have the full width of options that they want to do and how they... If it actually allows people to live their life how they want to live their life, society should allow men to stay at home and cook. But the fact that that doesn't happen says a lot about the society we live in. Hashtag living in a society. Funny how badly Russia is fucking up. It's not that weird though. It's sort of expected, right? They fucked up in the beginning when they started the war. So we're now just in phase 5 of Putin making mistakes. He's like, no, you can't invade our country! It's only supposed to go one direction. I like how in the 50s or whatever, the thing that the housewife says to try and chide her husband into cooking stuff, where she's like, all the world's greatest chefs are men. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I, for one, am not a great cook. My mother is way better cook than I am, and I don't really want to be a good cook, to be honest. Women's jobs came from the fact that strongest do need to go out and carry rocks. It's more like men are expendable. Even if men die off, if you have one guy, then he can repopulate the entire population just by fucking all the widows. Whereas you need to have a constant supply of female bodies to make sure you don't go extinct, considering it takes 9 months to spit out a baby. That's never actually going to change unless we start cloning the shit out of stuff. Hashtag China. So men are always going to be more expendable. That's why we have to die early. Have you ever written fan fiction? Not really. No, I don't think I ever have. I said I was playing around with novel AI recently, and even then, I wasn't writing fan fiction. I was writing more of my own content. So no, I've never written fan fiction, I guess. We need to figure out how to do male preg IRL. I know. I've been trying, but no matter how hard I come inside my boyfriend's asshole, he doesn't seem to get knocked up. I even make sure to yell, get pregnant, get pregnant, get pregnant, when I come inside Barry, but for some reason he doesn't get pregnant. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Try harder, it will work. Any day now. 2 more weeks, friends. Just need to come a little harder. Fujo bait stream. Yeah. This is one of those streams for the women where at any point we can start talking about gay sex. So I'm sure it's very entertaining if you want to see guys thinking about hot homo insertion. Skill issue. Just need to hashtag outskilled. The closest we had to male preg was Spartans who would ask younger men to impregnate their wives for better babies. Let's be honest. The Spartans were so deep in the bussy mode that they probably didn't want to fuck their wives by that point. That was just an excuse for them to be like, yeah, I don't really want to fuck my wife anymore. Hashtag just bussy things. Fucking anything else other than a man is gay. I think I've done this before, but there's a sliding scale of masculinity, and the farther you get into the masculine zone, the less you can be satisfied with feminine things like having sex with women. So then you start having sex with other men. Being a powerful Spartan warrior. Fucking your fellow comrades bussy is one of the manliest things you can possibly do. Spartans were matriarchy? No. I don't think so. I think you're misremembering shit. Spartans were a giga-militaristic society. I'm not really sure about the very specifics about what type of role females had. Obviously, men can't have children, so if they want society to keep on going on, they need to have some sort of role, but We've only had like 1 or 2 true matriarchies in any kind of society in America. Not in America, in the world. It was like 1 African society, and there might have been 1 more, but they weren't very widespread. Again, the power of violence is should not be underestimated. Women are valuable to society, but at the end of the day, if you have a king, which is basically a dictatorship, it's going to be based around the fact that he's going to be able to murder anybody he doesn't like, so it's just naturally going to become more male-centered. There's a few of matriarchal Bedouin and Amazonian tribes, but it's mostly women project managing the dudes. Like it is right now, if you think about it. There's lots of guys who think that they're managing themselves, but it's really their wife taking care of them for everything. Like me, for example, with mommy taking care of me. Spartans were patriarchal, but also oligarchical, so older women who married well had a lot of power. Yeah, that's about right. Sounds about right. I happen to be a specialist on Spartans because I watched 300 once. Let's say this is good enough for now. I might do some further adjustments in the future. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. So when I have difficulty trying to figure out if something is easily readable or not, what I do is I save it as a PNG. And I look at the PNG because that does a lot of compression and stuff that lets you see the image in a more pure format, or how people are ultimately going to be looking at it in the future. And I look at it on my 4K monitor. See if I like it or not. Yeah, it looks good enough. Giving Spartans them leather Speedos really made it worse. Spartan women sometimes married brothers so that she had a better chance of getting pregnant by the family than by the brother. Nice. PNG is losslessly compressed. You don't understand. So when you look at the PNG, it just looks different, okay? I don't need to talk about the technical shit. I'm just saying that when you look at a 6000 by 6000 PNG in an image viewing software, it looks different than the 6000 by 6000 image when I'm looking at it in Clip Studio Paint, alright? So it lets me get a better idea of how it actually is going to look when people look at it. Keck W. Are we having someone have like some stupid feminist argument in chat for the last 20 minutes? That's funny. I don't care. Go ahead and keep on fighting over your stupid shit as long as you want to. I noticed some weird white lines on CSP that disappear when you export. I haven't noticed that though. I'm just talking about like the overall impression that I feel. Viewer probably uses a faster resampling method. Shut the fuck up, you fucking STEM nerds. I'm not talking about, there's a computer, a lossless image format, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about my gut instinct of how I feel it looks like, okay? I don't need your fucking technical mumbo-jumbo jargon, bitch. Go ahead and tell me that I can't save my picture in JPEG format because it's going to deteriorate if I do it a million times. Say it, bitch. See if I care. I'll do what I want. Sorry, can't hear you over all my STEM money. Yeah. It do be like that, unfortunately. If I want to get rich, which I don't really, I have to go full mangaka and actually publish some books in Japan or something. Then I can fuck all you STEM losers with your money. But I already am kind of maxed out on what I want with money, so it doesn't really bother me one way or the other. Also, if you have STEM money, give me money. Of course your name is Packet Loss. This guy's really... He's really wearing his STEM credentials on his sleeve, isn't he? Hopefully you won't get stuck, I don't know, dealing with spaghetti code or whatever horrible fate happens for STEM jobs. I'm already subscribed. What? Should it say something? Oh, on Patreon? Yeah. Good. Give me money. I need money! No, it's fine. Thanks for the subscription. I appreciate the support. If I didn't have extremely rich STEM people willing to pay a lot of money for my artistic endeavors, I definitely would have to go back to work doing something stupid, so I'm in debt to the STEM people who are willing to pay Patreon. Say what you will, the STEM professionals are pussy slayers. Somebody has to figure out why the Wi-Fi is out. You have to call up AT&T and be like, I don't know, the internet's slow. And then AT&T guy shows up at your house and fucks your wife because he's the only one who can reset the router. Get the bag, I say. I basically have stopped having any desire to buy anything at this point. Like, after I bought my Pro Edge controller for my PS5 that has bumpers on the back, I haven't felt the need for any kind of like luxury item since then. I think I've maxed out any kind of happiness I can get from money. I don't really have any expensive hobbies at all. I'm using it to fill the void in my mindless work and at least create beauty by proxy. Hopefully, this will get better and better. There's a lot of people who feel that way, considering the amount of response I got when I did a comic about Elf working in tech support. And everyone's like, no one must suffer that cruel and unusual punishment. I can only imagine the pain for having to explain to people what you mean by click the mouse. No more material desires? I have material desires, I just already have all the items. I guess the most recent material desire I could have would be to have a better gaming PC so I could play Baldur's Gate 3 with mods. But I'm pretty sure I can play Baldur's Gate 3 on my laptop. That might be something I try out. I've been really sort of offloading the heavy gaming onto my PS5. And I was planning to play Baldur's Gate on my PS5 as well, but the character models, they're really unhot in very specific ways that bothers me. So if I'm playing on PC, I can just install the Minthara non-man-jaw mod, so she actually looks somewhat attractive, for example. So I'm actually wondering maybe if I should try and play it on my laptop, even if it's gonna make it overheat a bit. Is a PC a bad choice since you'll have to move out soon? Well, when I move out, I'll be going with my car to my dad's place. So I'll be able to... And I'm going to be taking my monitor and PS5 anyway, so it doesn't make any real difference. The PC is a bad choice because I have a gaming laptop already, so it's redundant. And it's not exactly... Oh shit. CSP is... Maybe I do need a gaming PC. Shit is lagging like crazy right now. Is it just CSP? BB is moving. There's gonna be house remodeling. Is what's gonna happen. So we're gonna have to move out of the house when construction starts. That will be maybe in January, if we're being optimistic. But my mother might go to Japan at the time. I'm not sure. If she is going to Japan, I might go with her to Japan if she gets place to live, and I can leech off of her. See, the important thing to remember here is I have no desire to do anything but leech off of my parents. So if my mother isn't going to let me go to Japan with her, then I'm going to go to my father's house and live in his basement. Yeah, renovations, that's the term I wanted to use. My dad seemed to be okay with me moving in for a month or two. I don't know how much his new wife is okay with it, but I don't plan to exit the basement in general, so I don't think it will be that bad. I'm just going to use 2 months as straight up grind time. Don't go anywhere, don't do anything besides draw. I think I might have to just like close. Yeah, we're getting weird lag spikes. What the fuck? MSI Center, please. What's going on here? Free up memory. Will that fix anything? Free it up, bitch. Come on. CPU temperature 90 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. This is why I don't really want to try and run Baldur's Gate on this laptop. Oh, it went down to 83, 81. Do you think she'll buy a place there? She's not going to retire for a while. Holy fuck, 90C, coolest laptop. I don't know, I see it 90 all the time. Free up memory. Yeah, I figured that doesn't do shit. I mean, I am using it to stream music on YouTube, upload this at the same time, run a timer, stream chat, and draw and stuff at the same time. So you can understand why the CPU is like, fuck this shit. How warm is the spot under your laptop? I have one of those frame... what do you call them? Those things that you use to elevate your laptop, because I'm using it on top of my bed, so it doesn't have the issue of it being too hot or anything like that. A riser, is that what it's called? You know, the stuff that has those fucking fans underneath them. Did you download more RAM? I think I have enough RAM. What's the best website for downloading RAM, guys? That should be like no load at all. I don't know. I just see that it hits 90 degrees Celsius pretty frequently. The bed is insulating the heat. Did I not just fucking tell you that I have it on one of these the fan things, okay? There's no heat underneath it. It's fucking elevated, okay? There's like 5 inches of space between the bed and the laptop, okay? Jesus Christ. A cooling pad, yes, that's the correct term, thank you. It's still a it's not a fucking problem, holy shit. Are you one of those tech people that thinks that you know what you're talking about when you're not? I can stick my hand underneath my laptop and I know that there's not a bunch of heat building up there. It doesn't matter if it's on top of the bed or if it's on a desk, if it's elevated 5 inches off the surface. God damn it. People are so fucking stupid sometimes. Jesus Christ. As someone who doesn't know what he's doing technically and has to ask people for advice all the time, it actually bothers the fuck out of me when somebody gives me bad advice like that. I mean, it's just not true. I can tell that it's not overheating because it's on a bed. I'm not that fucking stupid. Like, I need actual advice over whether 90 degrees Celsius is too hot for my laptop and stuff like that. I don't need, like, fake advice like you need to get it off the bed when I know it's completely separate from the bed. I love when he gets grumpy. Yes. It's easy to make me grumpy, though, so If you like grumpy time with me, you're in for a treat. There's always more grumpiness to happen. $90C is too hot. I'm not asking you, because you just claimed that the problem was that I was on a bed when I already said that there's a cooling pad underneath it. 90 is borderline, 100 is awful. Do we have like any actual PC specialists in here? I have had the laptop fucking shut down on me because it went overheat and it just restarted. But it wasn't doing the streaming stuff that I'm doing right now. It was because I downloaded a porn game that it didn't have the number of frames it generated locked, and I forgot to lock the frames on my side underneath 60, so it was generating like 200 frames per second, and eventually my laptop was like, what the fuck, and it shut down, and I was like, oh wait, I understand what's going on. Maybe I just buy a gaming PC though, not sure. They're just really expensive, man. And I also really enjoy having a laptop. I certainly have a lot of money saved up, so it's not like a purchase that I wouldn't be able to make, but I feel like it's something I could make after my current laptop fails. I don't know. Is your laptop on full performance all the time? I'm not sure. Is that something I can easily adjust? Does anyone know how I can reduce the performance of my laptop to lower the load? Is there a option for that in like the MSI Center or something? Build a PC you can play most games with a 3070. Yeah. I mean, I don't even really need the gaming that much. I'm just really worried that I'm gonna fuck up. I have a really bad track record of building things. I'm not good at doing anything in the real world, which includes stuff like building PCs and shit. Do you have a backup of your manga in case the laptop dies? Yeah, I have multiple backups. I have physical hard drives with it backed up, and I have like online backups and stuff, so you don't need to worry about that. And I do that like every day or every other day, so at the most I'd lose like a day of progress, and even that would be like a huge setback. It would piss me off so much, so I probably should actually back it up every little fucking day. But building one is easy nowadays. It's like building Lego. I knew someone was gonna fucking say that. I knew someone was gonna fucking say that. Everybody always says that whenever you talk about building a laptop. It's just like Legos, they snap together. Guess what? Legos don't cost like $4,000, okay? Everybody fucking says it's a Lego. It's not a fucking Lego. There might be an option in your BIOS screen. I might look into that. I don't know. Honestly, the temperature will be fine if I don't stream for you guys. So I'm killing my fucking laptop to offer you guys entertainment. Do you want to blacklist the phrase build a PC? No, because I am actually thinking about building a PC. I think the only real option that I would feel comfortable would be to have my followers build a PC for me, and then I'd pay them like $50 for their hard labor. Or maybe, how about this? Someone build me a PC and I'll draw an image of your waifu. How about that? Obviously, I'll pay for the PC parts. Unfortunately, none of you live near me, so... Building PCs are fun as fuck, you should just do it. No, they're not fun as fuck. The last time I tried to do anything technical regarding expensive electronic parts, I took apart my PS5 controller and destroyed it, so that's why I have a PS5 Pro controller, because I fucking tore it to pieces. No one knows where you live? Shh, don't tell them. Why not just go to a store that builds a PC? That's what I did. Yeah, I might do that. It's an idea, but you know what? I think I'm doing okay for now. I like my PS5, and honestly, I shouldn't be worrying about playing Baldur's Gate or worrying about my laptop dying. I should be worrying about drawing. The thing is, even if I built a PC, I would still want to be drawing on my laptop because I like this setup in which I'm sitting here and the screen is on my hip. It's sort of how, because I use a screenless tablet and I don't plan on changing that. So in any situation, I'd probably want to maintain a laptop of some sort. And then I would want to have a laptop that has enough power to be able to use drawing software. So ultimately, gaming laptop is still kind of necessary. So I don't know. Having a desktop just seems like a huge waste of resources. I don't know. Maybe what I need to do is get a separate monitor that I put on my hip. I don't know what kind of... it would be kind of like a small tablet type monitor and then connect that to the gaming PC itself. That's an idea. That might be a solution. Easiest PC build is just like buying a used server and plugging in a GPU. See, that's already way too difficult for someone like me. I think you people underestimate how technically shitty I am at this stuff. Like, I just am not good at anything involving PC parts or anything like that. I think I would probably... It's probably better if I buy the parts and take it somewhere to be sure. Did you pay $500 for an oil change of your car? No, the dealership that I take it, my stuff is actually very cheap. It's like less than $100. And they give you the first 2 oil changes for free after you buy your new car. So I actually haven't paid more than a few $100s for car maintenance. I have Japanese cars, so the car rarely breaks down. I haven't actually ever had to pay a huge amount of money for upkeeping my car ever. Fuck that, I am asking my brother to build me a PC and I'm paying him too. Only child, unfortunately. One-chan, please build me a PC. Dealership mechanic that doesn't scam people? Yeah. When I went to a third-party place that wasn't the Honda dealership, they actually charged way more, and I was like, what the fuck? So I just go back to the Honda dealership where I bought the car. The PC building shit is too complicated. I don't mind that it's complicated, I'm just worried I'm gonna fuck it up. Everybody in the Discord knows I have super gorilla strength, and it's like, see, it's not clear how hard you need to snap these things into place. I'm just worried that it's like, oh, it's not snapping into place. Do I have to put on more pressure? And I just like break the fucking 4090 in half or whatever, right? Shit scares me. How tightly are you holding shit? I don't know. Too tightly for my controller, that's for sure. RIP, first PS5 controller. You didn't make it. The only reason why I tried to fix it myself was it had like untenable amounts of stick drift. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to either buy a new controller or fix it. So I tried to be creative for once in my life, and I took it apart and tried to fix it, and I failed. It is now garbage. The power of electronic garbage. You're the perfect 4090 customer. Most people were too weak to properly push the power connector in, resulting in burning, melting. What the fuck? Do you crush Gunpla models to dust, my guy? I've only made 1 or 2 Gunpla models, and they were finished okay. I don't think I'm that bad, but I might be. I'm not sure. I try and avoid doing stuff in the real world. That involves talking to women, but it also involves like trying to fix stuff as well. I don't fix relationships and I don't fix electronic parts. Can you tell me how to draw such good eyeballs? Yours look so realistic. So we can actually talk about something I'm good at, which is drawing. One thing to consider when drawing is, so you have the face, right? You need to consider how the parts of the face are actually in a three-dimensional space. You can't see the total eyeball, but they are 2 round items inside the space. There's lots of tutorials that will tell you the exact same thing. And then the parts that you actually see are just the surface of the eye. And then the eyeball is behind it, right? So the eye is a rounded sphere, and you're only seeing the part of the sphere that is like on the surface of the face that's coming out. So you constantly have to be thinking what part of this sphere is visible when you draw the eyelids and stuff around it. And then the pupil is kind of sitting on top of the sphere. And it actually goes like this, and it sticks out a little bit. So it's this elevated part of the eyeball that's popping out. So a lot of people who don't draw realistic eyes or eyes that look a little off, and this is okay, you can do this as well, this is fine, but they're not thinking about the three-dimensional space, and they're just like, anime. Even this looks a little three-dimensional. I'm having a difficulty doing an example that's not three-dimensional. Here's an extremely two-dimensional eye right here. Jitome. Whoa, jitome. If you're thinking in terms of like just geometrical shapes, you can just draw like a geometrical shape, like a what's this, a parallelogram, and then put a half circle in it, and this looks just fine, right? This is actually a good way to think of different eye shape patterns. You can draw some people's eyes to be specifically three-dimensional, and then you can have some to be googly eye, just geometric shapes like One Piece Perona, right? This will actually increase the number of character designs you have access to. But the way to draw... See, once you understand that the eyeball is also a three-dimensional shape, it makes it easier to rotate the rest of the face. So you get a feeling of, like, here's the cheekbone, and then the nose is like this, right? So as the face rotates, the circle also rotates as well. You basically just have to feel the space and feel the form. And the way to learn how to do that is by drawing a lot of different faces from different angles. The reflection you draw in eyes is crazy good. What's the secret for that? When I draw my eyes, I like not having a full black dot, at least in her case. I like doing a lot of squiggly stuff like this, so it has a kind of gray feeling, and then you just make sure that you Actually, light reflection in the eyes is one of the easiest things you can do. You just need to add a white dot from the general direction the light is coming from, and immediately it looks more alive. See, look at this black dot here. As soon as you add a light dot, look how immediately it changes the feeling of the character just by adding a little reflection to the eyes. Anybody can do this. This is what people often say by professional artists of like putting soul in their characters. Like a lot of artists do this as their last step because it's when the character suddenly feels like it's coming alive. And all you have to do is just add this white dot and suddenly it gives you a different impression. And in the opposite direction, if you want to draw your hentai female that just got raped, they usually don't have light in their eyes. It shows that they're in deep emotional stress. Interesting how our eyes are. Eyes are one of those things where you don't want to use tutorials too much because you want to really discover your own style, because that's where you kind of differentiate yourself and your characters about how your characters feel. You kind of have to be an original and that type of stuff, or else you're going to lose track of what kind of an artist you are. That's just my opinion, but... Do you actually know the scientific terms in anatomy, or just how they look? Just how they look. I've read the anatomy books and drawing tutorials and stuff, and they give you the terms, but it's been so long since I studied officially, so at this point I kind of forgot all the terminology. I used to remember a lot more, but obviously you don't really need to remember that shit. You just need to remember what looks right and what doesn't look right. Especially if you're doing manga. If you're doing manga, you're gonna break rules of actual anatomy all the time. It becomes a lot more about what looks good and what doesn't look good in terms of, instead of like how stuff actually works. Catch lights are a small but effective way to bring life to a piece, to be honest. See, Hystrixia still actually remembers the terminology. I don't. I'm too far gone. I've forgotten everything. What was I doing? Oh, I was coloring the black parts. Here we go. Yeah. How do you explain the pure sex of mob eyes? I don't like mob eyes, not gonna lie. I never liked them. I still don't like them. Not a big fan. Yep. Never liked them. Never liked them. If I get confessed loved by a mob-eyed girl in my Japanese anime high school, I'm gonna tell her to fuck off. Don't like the pair of dots. Never did. Let's see, what is the temperature now? MSI-san, how are we doing? 84. I guess it was just peaking. Sometimes it spikes and then sometimes it goes down. There's lectures about what light does to the human body, like substance shattering and how it bounces around hair and such. Yeah, that's painterly stuff. If you're a mangaka, you don't really have to worry about that shit. You can get away with not knowing a lot of that, unless you're really going hard on lighting, which you shouldn't because you don't have time to be doing that stuff. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream here. I've made enough progress. Also, it's hot. Yeah, it's 5:30. It's hot in my room. Today is actually a hot day, so I'm going to go downstairs and eat a bagel or something. See you around, guys. Good night.